over the Charlotte Hornets. This one was a little toughy down the stretch, but the Chicago Bulls win in overtime, scoring 12 points to only the Charlotte Hornets 5 for a win of 119 to 112. We're going to break it all down, have some fun, as only we can do. But first, we got to play that winning intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
I see red, I see red, I see red, I see red, yeah, I see red, I see red, I see red, I see.
All right, Bulls fans, the Chicago Bulls get an ugly win, but a win nonetheless. They now have won, I think, 10 out of their last 12 games. The Chicago Bulls are led by Coby White in this game, who goes 10 of 19, 3-7 from three-point range for 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 27 points. Only 1 turnover from Coby White in this game. Andre Drummond with 21 points and 15 rebounds in this game. And Nikola Vucevic off the bench with 21 points and 10 rebounds. Also 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block from Nikola Vucevic in this game as well. DeMar DeRozan with 18 points, going 7 of 16, but he had some key turnovers down the stretch of this game that it was tough. But otherwise, he had 7 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, also 7 rebounds from DeMar DeRozan. Patrick Williams, who was aggressive early to start, had some really good defensive moments in this game, scores 8 points, going 2 of 6. 5 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 assist. One steal, 1 block in this game. And then Zach LaVine, not the game that Zach LaVine had in his first game back. Only 9 points from Zach, going 2 of 9 from the field, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block in this game, only 2 turnovers. He was doing a little bit more facilitating in this game. Io with 6 points off the bench, Dalen Terry with 2 points off the bench, and Javon Carter also only plays 4 minutes. He goes 1 of 2, and Billy Donovan may have finally woke up to the fact that Javon Carter sucks. That's what he may have finally woke up to. Now, when you look at the Charlotte Hornets portion of this game, it was really carried by Terry Rozier, who went 10 of 18 in this game, 12 of 12 from free throw line for 39 points. The free throw discrepancy in this game was absolutely ridiculous in this game, and it seems like the refs were just calling everything ticky-tacky that they could on the Chicago Bulls. Now, keep in mind, the Charlotte Hornets in this game, I think, only had 5 turnovers in the first half. They end up finishing the game with 12 turnovers. The Chicago Bulls, who had 8 turnovers in the first half, end up finishing with 12 turnovers as well, so they got the turnovers underway in that second half of the game, and that was a big part of the Bulls getting this win as well. We end up with 18 points off turnovers to only their 8 points off turnovers, and then second chance points. In the first half of this game, we were getting murdered by second chance points. We actually lost the second chance points battle 9-6. We end up winning overall in this game off second chance points 17-14. That's really big for the Chicago Bulls to come back. We talked about they had to own the offensive glass. We ended up getting 12 offensive rebounds overall in this game. We ended up winning the rebounding battle by 7. We were losing the rebounding battle by 2 in the first half of the game. So the Bulls really came out and fixed a lot of things that were ailing them in the first half of this game to eventually get this victory, and that's good. Still was a weird game. The pace, everything was really kind of weird at times in this game, but the Bulls were able to pull out the victory, and that is the most important thing. Miles Bridges also had 24 points for the Charlotte Hornets, and then Smith Jr. coming off the bench for them had 15 points. But like I said, Bulls took care of business defensively. We stood up defensively when we needed to, and we played really well in that overtime period. They really didn't have a chance in overtime. We got out on them early, got the lead early, and really created that separation like you want to see from the Chicago Bulls doing that game. And so that's how it all shakes out in the game. The Bulls have a defensive rating overall in this game is 109 as a team. That just shows how much they were able to step up that defense when needed. Also an offensive rating of 112. That's a pretty solid differential there. The Bulls got some things they need to tighten up. You're not going to win a lot of games playing like this against better teams in the NBA, and that's one of the things that's always tough and frustrating about this Bulls team. We play down to our competition, and this was a game where the Bulls really, had they took care of business earlier on, played better defense in moments, this game could have and should have been over with by the third quarter, but the Bulls just didn't execute at the level that they needed to for a full 4 quarters. But like I said, I'm not going to complain about it too much. We end up getting the victory. We got an easier part of the schedule. We get a couple of days off now before we come back on Wednesday against the Rockets. That's the second best defensive team in the league. So you definitely want to see the Chicago Bulls be able to take care of business better against that Houston Rockets team. But other than that, right now, man, the Chicago Bulls have taken care of that business. They've moved up the standings. I think now they're going to be the 9th seed in the NBA because the Brooklyn Nets didn't play today. We were tied, so we leapfrogged them. So that's a benefit there as well. We are now, if I'm not mistaken, 4.5 games back of the 8th seed, which the Miami Heat sit in that one right now. The Bulls have been playing solid, 6-4 in their last 10. Like I said, 10-2 in their last 12. The Bulls are playing better basketball, but we still got some things that we need to tighten up. The wins are coming, but it's going to get tougher at some point. Teams are going to figure you out, and so the Bulls need to have better execution down stretches of games so that they can keep going with that. So, but otherwise, like I said, the Bulls got the victory. That's the most important thing. Coby White playing with that confidence that we're used to seeing Coby White play with, and he really did help. And Zach LaVine didn't give us much of anything. I wonder if this is now going to reverse. Now, after the last win where Zach scored 15, we got a whole bunch of, hey, the teams could be back in on Zach. Don't be surprised if tomorrow morning we get a lot of, hey, these teams are no longer interested in Zach. That's just the way that the ebbs and flows go, unfortunately, when it comes down to it, man. But the Bulls pulled it off. We got the victory. That's the most important thing. Let's see how you guys are feeling about tonight. DJ Reese B says, woo, we pulled it off. Yep, same thing. Never mind. I was going to make a joke there. Iso DeMar really got bailed out there. Good things happen when the ball is in Kobe's hands. I agree with you, Benji. Completely agree with you, bro. And that's why early in this stretch, right, when Zach LaVine first went down and, Coby was playing really well, I talked often about how I really hoped Billy Donovan was going to continue to trust Coby. There were some times there where we went to DeMar in the fourth quarter, and I understood it at that time, but as Coby kept playing well, I really was just hoping that Billy Donovan was going to start trusting Coby more down stretches of games, and that has happened now. Billy Donovan fully trusts Coby White in fourth quarters of games, and that's not something we've always been able to say about Billy Donovan when a young player is even playing well. So to see that step up for Coby and him thrive in those times and Billy Donovan trust and rely on him in that's big for the future there. So love seeing that. Hopefully that continues for the Chicago Bulls and for Coby White to play, because listen, the Bulls look better when Coby White has the ball in his hands and you trust your starting point guard to make the right decisions, whether that be to dish it off or whether that be to try to score himself. Bathor Payne says, and guys really question why the fuck some of us would want DeMar gone. This man did everything he could to fuck us. He was Luke Getzian out there, that's for sure. I told you Coby White would have a big night because this is his home. No, you said the man was going to have 40. Like, come on, chill. Let's be clear here. 25 is a regular night. Like, it's not like it's a huge night. You got to get at least to 30 if you're going to talk about big nights there, Shay. That's all I'm going to say. But he had a huge impact on this game, man. Huge impact. Bathor Payne says Coby should have the ball in his hands, not damn DeMar. Agree with you. Completely agree with you on that one. Alex Larez in the building says a win is a win, but this was painful to watch. Can't argue with you on that one. Sydney, oh my God, I was terrified about this game. Congrats, boys. They made the 9th seed. I was really worried when it went into overtime. I'm not going to lie to you. It had the feelings of some of those games that the Chicago Bulls end up losing in overtime, even though they played pretty well throughout the game. And I'm just glad that didn't happen. I'm glad I'm not here talking to you guys about a loss. We get to talk to you guys about a Bulls win, and a Bulls win in overtime at that. Jack Holland says, what was DeMar doing? I'd like to commend Zach on his play tonight, defense especially. The game was closer than it should have been, but hey, we got the dub. Drive home safe, beep, beep. And that, I didn't acknowledge that when I did talk about Zach's game. Zach has been way more locked in defensively. Now, if you guys are members on the channel, you'll know that I dropped a members-only video with Quentin from Let's Talk Bulls. And he made an amazing point when we were doing that episode. He said, I wonder if the reason we're seeing Zach LaVine locked in a little bit more defensively, if he knows that's one of the critiques on his game, and with, the trade stuff, if he's trying to make sure that people understand, hey, no, I can defend a little bit out here, which I'm not even mad at. I know some people may take the negative angle on that. I'm not going to personally take that, because at the end of the day, he's a Chicago Bull right now. And if you're playing defense for us, even if it is for you to try to make sure teams know that you can still play defense, I'm not even worried about it. Keep doing your thing, young fella. Keep doing your thing. Alex Larez says, at this point, I would rather seen DT on the floor over Zach. Damn, I'm not going to say that yet, but damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. DJ Reese B says, let's go. Let's keep this streak going. I mean, listen, the Bulls, listen, if they can get past Houston, the schedule is considerably easier. Now, you still got the Golden State Warriors after that, then the Spurs. But if they can get past Houston, get a win out of there, it'll be crazy. Humble J says, that game was crazy. I had 3 shots. That's funny. That's funny. Shay in the building says, Billy is a dumbass because he should have called a timeout when DeMar DeRozan got the rebound, so that way we didn't even have to go to overtime. I mean, I get what you're saying. And, Billy has explained like his lack of timeouts and trying to trust momentum and things like that. But man, I mean, definitely in hindsight, you look at it and say for sure. Uh, Mateo says Coby absolutely must have the ball in his hands in crunch time. Agree. At this point, until Coby proves you a liar, you trust Coby White. You trust Coby White. The way that he's growing, that confidence is growing with him, that stepping up in the big moments is growing for him. You trust Coby White. Flaccavelli says we should be letting Coby learn how to close games with the ball in his hands. That's what a lot of people are going to go to, and you're not wrong on that one. Also, I understand why, but I'm upset we've seen little of Dalen. Nothing to note of Terry Taylor, and Phillips got called back down to the Windy City Bulls. I mean, at the end of the day, if Billy Donovan's not going to play Phillips, I'd rather see him back down in Windy City just so he can make sure he's getting those consistent minutes. I need to start getting those Windy City episodes back up as well so you guys can know how everybody's doing down there. Brazil Popular says, bruh, if we get Terry Rozier to replace Devon Carter, we beat everyone. I mean, listen, that contract is huge, though. Like, you got to be clear. That those contracts are night and day. We're paying freaking, yeah, he sucks, but we're only paying Devon Carter $6 million. You got to look at that Terry Rozier's contract. What is he, like $22 million? $23 million is Terry Rozier. I mean, I think he is a free agent at the end of this year, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Bathor Payne says, DeMar come in there like I dreamt of this moment and blows 4 to 5 straight possessions. Hey, this is one of those games where you really look at it and be like, hey, y'all sure y'all don't want to go ahead and trade DeMar? What the hell was the last few minutes at the fourth quarter with DeMar? Too damn much ISO. I'm just going to turn off. See, now the lights did die. So now I got to turn off the lights. Turn off the lights, bitch. What the hell was the last few minutes at the fourth quarter with DeMar? Too much damn ISO. And you know, the thing that concerns me about that is the fact that we have found so much success as a team running less and less isolation plays, moving the ball around, right? Having that fluidity in our offense. So to see Billy Donovan so comfortably go back to heavy isolation is a little concerning. Let's hope that it doesn't turn into a thing, right? And to a degree, I don't agree, but I understand why you may look at the way that tone was going and say, hey, this may be DeMar's time to cook, because in a lot of opportunities like that, he is going to cook. But this wasn't one of those days. And unfortunately, DeMar DeRozan stank up the joint in the fourth quarter today. He got some things that he definitely needs to tighten up. Davin Winslow says, this was ugly, but a win is a win. You can see Zach's shoulder affected his shooting and his step. Yeah, I mean, you got your shoulder and your foot hurt. That's tough. That's tough. The Chicago Bulls won. Beep, beep. That's from Jordan. Scott LaRock in the building. Hey, Thunder had a tough time with the Wizards tonight. Maybe it's celestial. That's a way to look at it there, brother. What's good, Haize? Scary Bulls win. Hated the end of regulation. So many problems, but Coby should get the final shots now. He's the only one guaranteed to be here next year. Coby needs those reps. I mean, I feel where you're coming from. Definitely feel where you're coming from. You think Zach felt out of the offense? I mean, listen, when you shoot the way Zach did, I don't give a fuck if you're out of the offense or not. Play better. Play better. That's it. At the end of the day, like I've said before, to win basketball games, you have to sacrifice. And Zach LaVine was 2 for 9 in this game. 2 for 9. It's not terrible, but I'm glad that he understood when he needed to stop shooting. He did have 5 assists, but at some point, sometimes, just like when Coby's shot wasn't falling, sometimes it's just not going to be you. It's not going to be you. Bro, everyone needed to chill. One bad game from DeRozan and everyone on his ass. I mean, I think that there's like this every night, though, bro. Like, really, it's really like this. Anybody who messes up in the night, they're definitely going to jump on their case. For this game, towards the end, you can sense that ISO was coming. You definitely felt the ISO coming back in this game. Definitely felt the ISO coming back in this game. Nando in the building says, DeMar was killing me those last 3 possessions before overtime. Everybody's going to go to that, man. I get it. Everybody's frustrated by it. Is it negative? I don't like how they played tonight, especially from DeMar. I still feel there's some ego from the two. It has nothing to do with ego. I can tell you right now, it has nothing to do with ego. I can promise you, Melvin, that sounds good storyline-wise, but it ain't got shit to do with ego. DeMar down stretches of games, that's DeMar's time. In the fourth quarter, when you're having trouble scoring and the other team's going on runs, that's usually DeMar's time. So I understand why they went to it. Now, should they have moved away from it earlier? Yes. But I guarantee you it has nothing to do with ego. That's Billy Donovan called that. And like I said, I understand why. Yeah, they definitely will be out on Zach until further notice. Yeah, see, that's funny. Super Duper Danko says, "I see it. These young guys have been listening to these lives because man, look at them go. LOL. Not a big win, but an important one. That's a great way to word it, right? Not a big win because it's hard to call a win against the Charlotte Hornets team that's playing the way they are this season a big win. But I am glad that they were able to pull the win out because there are definitely games in the past and even earlier this season that the Bulls would have lost this game with how they let the Charlotte Hornets get back in it. So good to see them still pull out the win. That's the most important thing. In the words of Dom Toretto, it doesn't matter if you win by inch or by a mile. A W is a W. Shout out to Jamal coming through, man. Sam from Maryland says, you already know Haize would be on some crazy shit if we lost. Oh, I would have been frustrated as hell if we lost this game. Just cop the City Ed Coby jersey, a City Edition Coby jersey, and a signed and graded rookie card. This man balling. I'm a genuine fan of this. Hey, shout out to you, man. I mean, listen, Coby White has really, and seeing him grow in the way that he's developed, being somebody that was drafted by the Bulls, albeit not this front office, it really feels good to see that, man. It really feels good. Not the best game, but got the win. Rozier went off. Coby playing great out there. Hey, Kobe's a baller right now. Coby is a baller. Melvin with the Shea comment. If you think about it, Drummond being perfect from the free throw line helped give us this ugly win. That's a fact as well. And he's talked about wanting to hit his free throws at a better rate. I think that hack of Drummond thing really does bother him sometimes. Great win, Haize. One thing though, I'm a sofa king. We tied it. Love, bro. What? Huh? You're a sofa king? That's between you and your lady, bro. They ain't got nothing to do with basketball. I don't see why coach didn't take that last time out and drop a final play in the game instead of just letting DeMar go, just go for broke. I miss that old time coaching from the 90s. Well, also, you got to keep in mind this as well. I get what you're saying. You're not wrong. I would have loved to see that from a better coach. Billy Donovan is terrible at drawing up last minute plays, inbound plays. So let's just be clear here. He's terrible at it. Somebody tell Billy that it's okay to leave Drummond in the game to close it out. We lost all the momentum when he subbed him out. Scott LaRock in the building says, when you average 1-4 game winning streak every 5 years, yeah, this is the kind of game you better be thankful for winning. That's funny. That's funny. End of game went smoother with Coby in the pick and roll with Vooch. Open up the weak side for we need to run that way more. Listen, Coby White as a pick and roll decision maker has grown a lot over the last couple of years. The decisions that he makes in the pick and roll are usually really, really good decisions. And you're starting to see him really get to the point to where he's also not he understands when to get somebody else the ball and when to really try to take players off the dribble himself. Coby White's rounding out to a really complete player, man. And I love to see the growth that Coby White's had, Mike. Archangel says, sorry, very late to the post-game chat. Not feeling good tonight, but I had to say, go Bulls, see red to all you wonderful people and our fearless leader, Haize. I'm just crazy. That's all it is. But thank you, Archangel. Glad to have you in here. Billy just said Zach and Vooch about to be starting again. What y'all think about that? I think that it's time. That probably would have happened this game if it wasn't for, things. And so eventually that was always going to be the case, that they're going to be back in the starting lineup. I'm sure Zach feel crazy seeing Coby showing us everything he has in his bag. Zach got skills, but Coby making Zach look real robotic out there. Well, it comes down to this, right? They're very different players, even though they both can be ball dominant and do kind of some of the same things. But what you're seeing from Coby White that I think separating him from Zach LaVine is basketball IQ. And I don't even mean that to slight Zach. I mean that more so to boost Coby. Coby's basketball IQ, both defensively and offensively, have grown exponentially for the Chicago Bulls. And that's why you're seeing him be able to be the point guard now. It's not just about him scoring. Yes, his scoring is amazing, and that's going to be what gets most of the notice. But just go out there and watch how Coby operates in space, right? That's something that we don't talk about. I don't talk about enough as a basketball fan. Coby's ability to create space for other players, not just because of his shooting, but how he moves out there on the court when he does and when he doesn't have the ball, the angles that he takes. Coby White is turning into a really smart basketball player, and that's going to be what really propels him to go even further. Billy trusts the small lineup in crunch time. If we make a trade, I want a crunch time player that is at least 6'8", not Trent Jr., not Roy. But you can say all that all day, but it doesn't matter because what we want, it don't matter. It's what this team, and the fact of the matter is, Billy likes to go small. And because of that, I wouldn't be surprised if the front office gets in players. We've already tried to make Billy Donovan's system fit players that it didn't fit. At this point in time, I get it. I don't like small ball as much either. But if that's what Billy Donovan needs his system to be correct and is going to put the players in the best situation and scenarios, cool. Everybody's system has its own caveats, its own shortcomings. It just does. And one of Billy Donovan's system's issues is that he needs preferably a point guard playing at a high level to make it go. But then small ball is a part of that. And if you can get the right players, Gary Trent Jr. would definitely help with the spacing on this team, which would help Vooch and Drummond be able to operate more in what they do. So I'm not saying that it's ideal or what everybody should want, but I'm just saying that you have to understand what Billy's trying to run. And this front office, this ownership is tied to Billy Donovan. And so they're probably going to get things that fit the way that he wants them to play. So King Kehala says, I think if Billy was the type of coach to run plays that utilize our players' strengths, and especially Zach would have worked out better for us, and the team would have been better over the years. Well, I mean, you got to keep in mind, too. Let's not act like Zach's been horrible the whole time he's here. At the end of the day, Zach's had good seasons here under Billy Donovan. So it's not just like Zach was put in positions where he was bad. It's just that the pieces of the roster didn't necessarily always fit together, right? We talked about it. Individually, Zach, Vooch, and DeMar had solid seasons last year, but together, what the sum of the parts, the point differential was negative. They had one of the worst point differentials, I think the worst actually, of any three-man combination. So, I think we sometimes try to oversimplify, like, hey, well, if this player just played better, when for a basketball team to have success, it's about more than usually the one individual having a successful season. And the pieces just didn't work. They're working better now with Coby, but that's part of Coby having better basketball IQ, Coby being a better passer, Coby not turning the ball over more, and him being at a position that helps Billy Donovan's system work the best, and that's point guard. Do you think the organization wants Coby's value to go up and add him to the what? No. What? No. Come on, man. Do you think we will end up keeping the same team at the deadline? Levine not helping this case. I mean, I actually talked about that here on today's daily episode. So you guys got to check out those pre-recorded videos that I drop every single day as well. But I do think that I put it at a 40% chance that Zach LaVine's is staying here past the trade deadline. Billy's system comes from the Westbrook OKC triple-double season. No, that's not where his system comes from. That's what one season where his system worked the best at, but that's not where his system comes from. DJ Reese B says, hopefully Billy developed DT correctly. He got star potential. Listen, I need to see more from Dalen Terry before I'm willing to say star potential. For one, you got to be able to score, right? And while Dalen has really given the Bulls some really, 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 really good defense, I love the way Dalen Terry plays defense. I love how he gets active. I love his passing and transition, things like that. But let's be clear here. The dude has shot the ball largely terribly, right? So to have star level potential, you need to be better than that on the offensive side of the ball. So Keon Johnson in the building says, Vooch played okay, but every time Billy took Andre out of the game, we still couldn't rebound, and the deficit we kept getting close. No, Vooch played more than okay. Saying Vooch played okay is a narrative. It's not fact. Vooch played better than okay. Now, the team played different. And yeah, Andre Drummond killed it, specifically on the offensive rebounds boards today. But that's what Drum does. Chasing Dream said, why didn't Billy make an adjustment and put out his best defenders on the court in the last defensive possession in the fourth quarter with 26 seconds left? That you got to ask Billy Donovan. Jamal in the building says, I hear you, but I question whether the small ball is guaranteed in Billy's offense. We just don't have a tall four on the roster. Billy trusts in crunch time, not P. Will. Could we trade for that player? Listen, but that's the thing. I don't think so, right? And at the end of the day, I think they're going to get the best talent they can possible. But I think this team, if they wanted more size, they would have played Julian Phillips more. If they wanted more size, they would have played Adama Sanogo. And I just don't think that's something that this team is trying to do necessarily. Now, that's not to say that a four that has some size and can stretch the floor some. But as long as DeMar DeRozan is on this team and playing with Nikola Vucevic, they're going to leave somebody out there who can try to stretch the floor at least a little bit to be a threat, just to have that spacing out there. Do you feel like Zach is tuning out again, or he's having a slow start to get back? It's 2 games. But let's be clear, he played really well the first game. It's 2 games, and he almost didn't play this game. He was questionable. So I don't think he's tuning anything out. I think the man is winded, and he's hurt, and he's trying to get back comfortable out there is what I think's happening. B-Ball Pod says, at this point, Levine is either going to play for the betterment of the team or he's trying to play for the betterment of himself out of Chicago. I mean, technically, you could do both. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive to that. But I will say this, just because you asked the question, if Zach LaVine was trying to just play for the betterment of himself, I personally would think then that we'd see him be more selfish offensively, and we're not really seeing that yet. Nikola Vucevic played good today, but when it came in the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, I would have had Andre Drummond out there to close the game since him and Coby White were having a rhythm. Completely agree with you on that one. Completely agree with you on that. Haize, what's up, bro? Why are we struggling with Charlotte? Did you watch the game? I mean, all you're proving to me is that you didn't watch the game. Super chat. Haven't seen super chat lately. Well, thank you, Diego. I appreciate you for that one, man. Zach offense is trash, but his defense since he's been back is way better. I mean, his offense wasn't trash in the first game back, but largely this game, yeah, he couldn't hit shit. But yeah. B-Ball Pod says, I agree with you, bro. Appreciate it. Love the channel. I appreciate you, brother. Bathor Payne with the super chat. Thank you guys for supporting the channel at any level, brother. Dalen has really, really, really good deep. Whoa. That's crazy. It be your own people. That's crazy. Archangel, I'm disappointed in you. How dare you slander my good name like that? That's crazy. Smacking your hand, that's crazy. Do you think Daily what? Well, who's Daily? Do I think what about Daily? What are we talking about here? Do you think Terry should be coming off the bench early? I mean, no, I feel like they're using, if you're talking about Dalen Terry, I feel like they're using them well. I'm saying Phil Jackson would have figured out how to get the players on the same page and have all the players doing what they do best and run like a full functional machine, at least being contenders. No, that's not true either. Phil Jackson absolutely had teams that he couldn't get running, and sometimes things just don't work, right? You can't always just it's not always you can just make something work. The balance of this roster has been off. And so, no, I don't think that Phil Jackson is just going to magically have this team and pieces that we clearly see weren't fitting right together all of a sudden fit right. In 2 different instances, I was thinking that there could be garbage time minutes, but we wound up being a coulda, shoulda, woulda moment. Facts. Definitely on that one. Actually, Buddy Hield would be nice. Could help Billy chew all those gums. First of all, the Bulls do not have the dental budget for Buddy Hield. Have you seen the chompers on that young fella? Has anybody seen the chompers on Buddy Hield? I said it before. On when he goes to the dentist, they have to use the same machinery they use to clean horse teeth for Dalen Terry's mouth, bro. They got to. They use a power washer to clean those motherfuckers because ain't no other way. It's not possible. Watching Caruso locking defensively at the end of the game was amazing to watch. It's always great. I love Archangel was going to twist it, but I love seeing people lock in on defense, man. Why is Zach's on-ball defense that much better than his off-ball defense? Because of awareness. It's strictly because of awareness and IQ. Then a super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel. He says, I watched the first 1.5 quarters and thought that's an easy W for the Bulls. What just happened? Anyways, let's go Bulls. The Bulls were bullshitting. That's what happened out there. Damn, Ja's out for the rest. Ja, he just came back. What happened? See, this is why I always catch up on general NBA news. Is that real? Is that real? I'm not seeing anything out there for the rest of the season. I'm seeing that he was a game time decision. I'm not seeing anything for the rest of the season. What's happening with Ja? He tore. It's real. Damn. Damn, that sucks for Ja, man. That sucks for Ja. Damn, I hate to see that. That's crazy. That's crazy. That sucks, man. That really does suck. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. Damn, I can't even click the damn comment. Ja will undergo season-ending surgery following a tear in his right shoulder. Man, that sucks. Damn, that sucks, man. I gotta tell the boys I gotta record an emergency video. That sucks, man. That sucks. That really does suck. Hold on, I gotta send this text. That sucks, man. That sucks. Damn, man, that sucks about Ja. Luckily, it's the shoulder, like, so it's not one of those things that could really threaten affecting his career long term. Typically, so shoulder injuries, even if it is a tear, usually are recoverable. He'll be back in about 10 to 12 months. So, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Really hope he isn't another D. He's not. He's not gonna be. I hope not. I hope not, man. That's crazy. Ja's one of my favorite players to watch. One of my absolute favorite players to watch. That's crazy, man. That sucks. That sucks. Damn. All right, y'all. But to get back on the Bulls, man, really good game for the Bulls. That's crazy. And look how Memphis is playing. You know what? You know what though? I know this is a weak draft, but watch the Memphis Grizzlies end up getting the first overall pick. Watch the Memphis Grizzlies end up getting like the first overall pick. That's crazy, man. That sucks for Ja. That really does suck for Ja Morant. Carter for D Rose trade, they'll never take that. They'll never take that. So, two of the best point guards in the league went out today. Tyrese Halliburton and Ja Morant. That's wild. That's wild. But all right, guys, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to end the stream. That sucks to end it on news. Like, no, in fact, let's not end it yet. I can't end it on bad news. Let's get back to talking about our Bulls, man. Coby White balled out today, man. It's good to see Coby White in his growth, as we've always talked about. And now with Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic potentially moving back into the starting lineup as soon as the next game on Wednesday, I'm really going to be interested to see how this bench continues to develop. Alex Caruso and Ayo Dosunmu were getting into a really nice rhythm, albeit that was with Torrey Craig as well when they were the bench unit. Now with Drummond, Caruso, Ayo Dosunmu moving to that bench with Dalen Terry now. I'm interested. That's all four players that can get out in transition, that can attack. They're solid defensively. Like, just think about that. Think about that as a defensive lineup, right? Let's bring the positivity back into this. Alex Caruso, Dalen Terry, Ayo Dosunmu, and Andre Drummond coming off your bench. That's defense. That's turnovers. That's getting out in transition. That's the watch your head unit, right? That unit can really do some damage for opposing teams when you look at keeping up and maybe even coming in with really high energy against those reserves. And I'm excited to see how that bench unit can develop together as well. I think that could be a really fun one to watch. So let me know what you guys think on that, man. That's still crazy. That sucks for Ja Morant. I'm sorry, I had to bring some positivity into it, but I'm thinking about how it'll have on D Rose. You know, I still want him back one day. It's not happening. It's not happening. After watching the game, Zach still looks gassed out. Let's hope that he gets back in shape. Got to stop eating those beans. Got to stop eating those beans. Probably good that the Grizzlies got D Rose. He could help Ja keep his head right and not get too down about the injury. Hey, that's a really good point. That's a human element to it. Two Crash Bandicoots on the court. Oh, hell no, son. They'll be trembling. That's hilarious. The unit going to be the 2024 bad boy. Oh no, come on, they ain't gonna be the bad boys. Like let's not embellish there, brother. Even the scoring wasn't there much tonight. Impressed with what I've seen from P. Will, bro. Yeah, defensively, and like the time where he just took the ball from the Hornets player for that offensive rebound and try to put it up. I was like, hey, listen, P. Will's getting aggressive out there. Getting aggressive, man. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Now I feel comfortable ending the live stream. We'll be live over on Locked On Bulls here in a second, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as we're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the season. You can follow us at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I love you guys. Go Bulls, man. Peace, y'all.